So how's everyone? It's been a while since I've recorded myself while I was driving like this. Been so busy, really haven't had a lot to say. How was everyone's weekend? I am on my way to, actually I'm on my way to visit someone at a school, I think. And then I'm heading to the house after that. I think today is Slow Driver's Day. I don't know what's going on today. Is everyone traveling? It's not a travel holiday, I wouldn't think. Unless it's, I don't know why. Normally the speed limit's 45, but I got behind someone doing 30. On the way to work this morning, I was behind like several slow people. Now that I'm pulling onto the interstate, again, it's more slow people. I don't know what the deal is today. But I also have bad road rage. I'll, tell people off here in my vehicle while I'm driving. And so I taught one VIPKid student this morning. She had another one this week, but she canceled. I know she's from outside of mainland China. And I'm thinking, usually throughout, before all this happened, I shared her with another teacher. So maybe they ended up booking me twice, and they meant to share me, put me on today, and then the other teacher for Thursday or Wednesday maybe. But that was really interesting. I was like, oh, she canceled. But they canceled right before, I had her at 4 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, which was 5 p.m. their time, I think. The time change, yes. And so, I don't know if it was just like, and I saw someone ask the question on one of the groups. I can't remember. I have most of the groups now where, Lord, look at the sun shining. I have most of the groups that I have them on silent, so I don't get any of the notifications. There's one that I keep open. Actually, there's two now that I keep where I still get notifications because they actually post things that are pertinent, and it's not people just wanting to spew garbage. And so in one of those, they were asking, one of them mentioned, can someone like in Taiwan, can they still book classes, or are they changing that? Are they changing everybody over? And I'm assuming that means everybody to the global platform or not. And that is interesting. I don't know, maybe this student, they spoke to them and maybe they're switching over to the global platform. If that's the case, then I'm not going to get to see this student until I'm invited to do that. Maybe that's something I need to ask the parent. I'm friends with with one of the child's parents on WeChat, so I may send that question to her and ask. And I hate to ask, because it may be, it's one of those things where you're overthinking. Maybe, I know I didn't do anything wrong, but maybe either they accidentally booked me twice this week. Again, this is a student that I share with another teacher. And so maybe they meant to book me for one day and then the other teacher for the other day for this week. And they tend to book week by week. They were never, except for the priority bookings, they would book like week by week like that, which is fine. But before I submitted feedback for that one kid, I got 2 more bookings, not for that day. I've turned off my short notice. I should keep it on, but I want to be able to plan Engoo better, because right now that's going to be more steadier, I'm sorry. And even though VIPKid pays more, it's not reliable right now. Engoo, I know I'm going to get bookings. That happened to me last week. I forgot that I put all short notice for VIPKid. There is someone riding my tail. It's either people riding slow or going too fast. I'm going on this part of the interstate's 55. I'm going 75, and someone's like riding my tail. Wow, what's he trying to do? Was he trying to get behind me again? Where are they from? Tennessee. Last week I ended up getting a short notice, but I also had an Engoo booking that day. And I ended up canceling the Engoo class because it was less money. Plus the VIPKid one was going to be an hour-long class, so I was going to get after the short notice. I think it was going to be like $20 maybe. Yeah, it's going to be $20 maybe. Let me think. $8.50. About $20, I think. I can't remember. I have to look it up. It's the the double plus the short notice. Now short notice for I can't remember. Yeah, it's going to be $20 because it was $8.50. No, actually $21 or $22. I can't remember. Anyway, it's going to be a lot more than what I was going to make with the one Engoo class. It was only going to overlap one of my, because I space my Engoo classes out 2 at a time, so to keep them getting burned out. Because after 2, sometimes those get kind of tedious. I'll tell you why in just a moment. But so I canceled that out because that's going to be the lower penalty. Plus, I was going to make more with VIPKid. With Engoo, I think the penalty, because it was cancellation with notice, was going to be only like 60 cents, like that. Their penalties are very low if you keep. The goal for Engoo is to keep your cancellations below 4% for the month. If you get 4% or higher multiple months, then if you get really high, then they just tell you to leave. But if you get 4% or higher multiple months, then you start getting emails and warning, and then they let you go like that. And so right now that put me at, I think now I'm like 3.5, and I have between now and the 25th of this month to make that much lower. So if you teach 100 classes a month, that's 4 cancellations, and I usually teach over that. So I've only had to use, so I'm well set for that. And I like that system better, the percentage-wise, because I've said this before. People, for VIPKid, and before all this mess happened with the Chinese government, I was teaching close to about 300. I'd average about 300 classes a month. Yet I was held to the same cancellation policy as someone who taught maybe like 5 to 10 classes a week. And that was, I know the fare of if you cancel a full day, it's only 2 cancellations, yada 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 yada. But I like the percentage-wise better, because if I canceled my class, it would have less of an impact as someone who may only do 5 to 10 classes a week. So I like this percentage system much better than everyone bound to the same 6 cancellations per contract period. And so, since right now I can get a booking here and there, I've turned off my short notice for VIPKid. Will I miss out? Yeah, but it might be, an extra $10 here and there, maybe $10 a week at most. When with Engoo, I know I'm going to get more because I'm guaranteed those bookings. I don't want to wait and end up not getting any bookings from either company. So I'm doing that now. Back to Engoo, I've decided to do 2 at a time. I take 2, do a 30-minute break, 2 30-minute break. And so I can do 3. I think I'm going to start pushing it to 3 because I need to get more. I took like more days off than I intended from working online. So I may bump that up to 3, then 30-minute break. The reason why, it's easier to get burnt out for the students who choose an article assignment or article activity. You tend to you read the same article more than once. Imagine doing the same VIPKid lesson for 5 lessons in a row. It's going to be different for each student. You approach it differently for each student, but still it gets really tedious if I'm reading the same article multiple times. While it may be their first time and you're trying your best to discuss important points, you kind of you get burned out reading the same article multiple times like it. There's some days I might read the same article 10 times because it's a very popular article that day. The other day, there was this article about memes, about how memes have helped during the pandemic, helped with depression, helped boost morale. Apparently memes aren't that popular in Japan. I didn't realize that. I thought memes were everywhere because I've seen memes in different languages. And so I didn't realize that the use of memes, and multiple students said this, so it wasn't just one student saying he didn't know what that was. It was multiple students, but they gave examples of memes there, like little pictures you can click on. I even showed some that I used, or some that I've seen on social media. There was one student who thought they were stupid, and I'm thinking he used the word stupid because of having limited language. And so I said, why are they stupid? He explained why he thought they were stupid, but then again, at first I was like, oh, that's not very nice, in my head I was thinking that. But then I had to remind myself, maybe he's using the word stupid because again, because of a limited language of words to use. I was going to put that in the feedback, maybe some synonyms that were less of a punch than stupid. Like or maybe he wanted to use stupid. Who knows? Maybe he thinks that maybe he really feels that strongly about memes that he wanted to use the word stupid. I don't know. But usually, if they use a word like that, I try to think of synonyms that are more appropriate to use. Again, they're adults, but this is where I weigh on, if it's an advanced adult, then I don't know that maybe they are using stupid and they want to use stupid, and he's an adult, he can use whatever language he wants. But then I feel like it's on my part, it's my responsibility to inform the impact certain words can have. I was tempted to go online, like Google image search, and look up Japanese memes. I didn't want to do that and then not understand what the Japanese writing was saying, and end up. I'm running off this little. There's some construction here. I'm going through a construction zone, and there's like those little divot things because they turned the shoulder into a lane. Move this all over. I didn't want to get a meme in Japanese and ended up being something vulgar or offensive without. And I don't have any friends who are Japanese. If it was a Chinese one, I could have a friend in Beijing who would approve it for me. Something I didn't realize, I knew a lot of the Asian languages like Japanese derived from that, but I didn't realize that most of my Japanese students, when we talk about Chinese and Japanese differences in the language, that a lot of the Japanese writing, I know it came from Chinese, but I didn't realize they can understand a lot of the writing. Now the speaking part is a lot different. The pronunciations are way off compared to Japanese. However, a lot of the Chinese writing, many people who are fluent or native Japanese language language speakers and writers will understand the gist of what is written there. I didn't know that. Back to VIPKid. He's a level 7. I'm hoping he sticks, and he's going to be for 7:30. 2 days next week, I think the 19th and 20th. So I'm hoping that sticks, because usually if they book that far in advance, there's if it's a new student especially, I've noticed, and of course odds are way off now, so I can't really use these odds anymore, but it's usually if it's someone I've never met, there's about a 30 to 40% chance it sticks. In the past, they've done that because maybe their regular was busy that day, or a teacher they really wanted was busy, and so they use that to at least hold a place until they can find a slot with a teacher that they preferred. And so, but maybe now, maybe the odds have changed that they'll stick, because maybe their preferred teacher is no longer teaching, and plus some teachers have moved over to the global platform, and I don't think a lot of the students have moved over with them. Per the email, I didn't really get that part of who's there, what they're doing with that anymore. So, I'm hoping it sticks. That's 2 level 7 courses, and all the comments from prior teachers said this student's a good student, and that's always comforting to know. It's always not as comforting when you read their comments and it's a super struggling student, or it's a behavioral problem student. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll stick, and it's not going to be a lot of money, but it's good to keep up, and I hope I get more bookings from students from outside of mainland China. I've opened up my schedule wide open. I'm just turning off the short notice because again, I want to be able to prepare more and be able to rely more on Engoo. Engoo, I can open up my schedule the day before, and they book, and so there's no issue with those booking. And that makes planning a lot easier for my full-time job. Anyway, I'm getting ready to get where I need to be, but it was good to ramble again. So, see you next time.